history,
আমাদের গুরু
your
আজফার
words and your works
চমস্কিকে বলছি
continue to remain and resonate with our struggles against all forms and forces of oppression around the world. Well, I'll be very brief here, as brief as possible. So very quickly, a few words about my own relationship with Noam Chomsky and his work. I come from Bangladesh, a peripheral formation devastated by its ruling classes, by neoliberal assaults in a great variety of ways, by global capitalism, that is, a country where I grew up reading Chomsky in my early 20s and even writing about his work in the areas of both linguistics and politics. In a left Bengali Views Weekly, I co-edited back in the early 90s. In fact, I was introduced to Chomsky's work by a high school teacher living in an obscure village in a peripheral third world country like Bangladesh, and that tells you how far Chomsky can go in an obscure village in a peripheral third world country like Bangladesh. In fact, that high school teacher even wrote a short verse about Chomsky, something that I wanted to share with you all here. I should point out emphatically that in Bangladesh, in a variety of oppositional progressive circles, Chomsky and his work are deeply valued and respected, to say the least. Well, of course, his work has been translated into Bengali in Bangladesh as well as in West Bengal, India, and a number of my colleagues and comrades and friends and former students from both Bangladesh and India are with us now online for this event today, and many of them have wanted me to convey to you, Professor Chomsky, their solidarity and their gratitude and love for the work you have been doing for decades and for relentlessly speaking the truth to power, exemplifying your critical role as an uncompromising, and to use your own friend Edward Said's words, on the makers of the 20th century. Last, on a very quick and a more personal note, bear with me a little, please. I vividly recall with deepest gratitude and most fondly cherish my first encounter with you in person when I met you and talked to you at Washington State University back in 2005. It was quite an experience, as it was quite an experience receiving even a note of support from you, one that we did not expect, after we had sent you a copy of our activist journal called Discontent that we used to bring out as graduate students in the late 90s. There was no such thing as stellar distance as far as Professor Chomsky is concerned. Can thank you enough, Professor Chomsky, and on behalf of my colleagues and friends from Bangladesh and India, I also thank Professor Lewis Gordon and Kristen Davies for making this great event happen in the GCAS public lecture series. Thank you all.
Thank you, Azfar Guru.
Thank you, Azfar Hussain.
We are proud of you.
An additional point, although I mentioned in that situation holidays